Call to order the City Council meeting for this July 9th, 2025. It is 5:34. Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilwoman Baskin.
Present.
Councilman Leon.
Here.
Councilwoman Powell.
Present.
Councilwoman Wilson.
Present.
Councilwoman Julian.
Here.
Vice Mayor Stevens. Mayor Harris.
I'm present.
You have a quorum. Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
as noted before, Vice Mayor Stevens will not be present for today's City Council meeting.
I need a motion to excuse the Vice Mayor.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none, show him excused. Please stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Let us all bow our heads. Father God, we come before you with a humble heart and a humble mind. We come, Lord God, asking for your presence in this place, that you may dwell here in peace and in honor, in decency, and in order. Father God, we promise with all of our hearts to do business as you would have us to do. We ask for your love. We ask for your presence. In his name, amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Mr. Clerk, we're on approval of minutes.
Yes, before the council, I have before you the May 28th and the June 11th regular City Council draft meeting minutes for your approval.
I need a motion on the minutes.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none, show the minutes approved. We're on order of business. Are there any items that need to be added, deleted, withdrawn?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Yes, I have two add-on items that's been forwarded to the City Council. We have add-on item number 1, which is requesting authorization for the use of chambers, sponsored by Councilwoman Katrina L. Baskin. Without objection, we ask that item be added to regular resolutions as item 13.2. The second add-on item is sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian, and it is also requesting use of the council chambers. Without objection, we ask that it be added to the regular resolutions as item 13.3.
All right. Any other issues or concerns in reference to the order of business? None. I need a motion on the agenda.
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Showing any opposition? Showing none. So the agenda passes. We're on special presentations.
Yeah, item 6.1, special presentation recognizing Parks and Recreation Month. This is sponsored by Councilman Leon.
Councilman?
Good evening, everyone. As you know, the month of July is Parks and Recreation Month, and I just want to take this opportunity to present the best parks department that I know in the country. These people get together and bring all of our visions to life, and the things that they do for the residents are just unmatched. So will all of our parks department, along with the city manager and your staff, please join us in the front? Council members.
Okay.
you the best.
So I keep going for the next one? I keep going for the next one?
You got
Presentation.
another one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Councilman Leon?
Yeah, so the next special presentation, we talk about investing in our kids throughout Miami Gardens, and the next young man that we want to recognize is truly this community has invested in him. He has gotten to the highest level of Boy Scouts. He just received his Eagle Scouts. He is a part of the Lamplighter program. If you're not familiar with the Lamplighter program, that's a program that Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated mentors kids in this community. He has over 650 hours of community service at the age of 17. These are stories that you probably won't see on the news, but these are kids in our community with scholarships, offers already, over 50 merits from the Boy Scouts. And today just happened to be his birthday also. So Adrian, will you please come forward and your Boy Scout leader so we can recognize you? Mr. Mayor, if we can we clap for him?
Yeah, we could.
That's our program.
Our kids. All right, we're on public comments. Let's give me a minute till everybody clear out. All right, Mr. Clerk, you can read the back of the public comment card, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Citizen participation is governed by Section 2-60 of the Miami Gardens Code. Public comments are limited to matters within the scope of the jurisdiction of the City Council. Each person other than members of the city staff who addresses the City Council shall give their name, address, and whether the person is speaking on his or her own behalf, a group of persons, or third party. When in the determination of the presiding officer, there are many persons wishing to speak on the same proposition. The presiding officer may direct that these persons designate a representative to address the City Council rather than all members of such groups. All speakers shall be limited to 2 minutes. Unless further time is given by the presiding officer, All remarks shall be addressed to the City Council and as a body and not to any one member. No person other than City Council members and the persons having the floor shall be permitted to enter any discussion without the permission of the presiding officer. No questions shall be asked to the City Council members except through the presiding officer. Order shall be maintained. If any person makes personal, irrelevant, impertinent, or slanderous remarks, become boisterous while addressing the City Council, or becomes too lengthy, abusive, obscene, and/or disruptive, or otherwise fails to comply with the orders of the presiding officer and is declared out of order, that individual may be subject to removal by the Sergeant at Arms.
Thank you. And Council, let's govern ourselves accordingly as well. First person up is going to be Maya Passmore, followed by Darrell Thomas and Camila Cross.
All right, that was quick. Good evening, Maya Passmore. My address, I'll say 163rd and 40th Court in the Venetian Gardens, Opelika North area. I'm here to advocate for Opelika North as you all finalize your fiscal year budgets for the next year to consider including just things that we need in that area. One of the things that I wanted to bring to your attention was the drainage in that area. When it rains, we get heavy flooding in that area. I know Frederica Wilson presented the city with a $750,000 some funding in October for drainage. So I wanted to see if anything was earmarked for Opelika North. You all annexed that when you first became a city in 2003. In addition to that, our neighborhood remains on septic, so I wanted to see if there was anything in plans for going to sewer. Our traffic lights are a bit outdated and uncoordinated over there. It's created congestion and hazards. It seems like it's not growing with the population. I've also noticed a lack of consistent community policing. I've expressed that at your town hall, Ms. Wilson, and normally when I see a police officer, I express, hey, I'd like to see you in my community. Want to see community policing in that area. I don't see it a lot. We weren't included in the city's bicycle and pedestrian mobility plan, yet we're in desperate need of a safe pedestrian access. We don't have crosswalks on 37th or 42nd, nor crosswalk buttons. And then I cycle a lot with my son. The cycling signs aren't really visible. Just looking ahead, as you all are designating, similar to the entertainment district by the entertainment district, for us to have that as a college district where we could attract business in the area, we could patronize the businesses that come in the area, and really just give it equal attention because it's a gym. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening to the dais, to residents, administration in there. Darrell Thomas, 16040 Northwest 28th Court, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056. I commend the young man. That was a beautiful thing, commend the young man that received the award, the Boy Scout Award. That says a lot for our youth in this area. But there's also a flip side to this. When you see something, you got to say something. So basically, this is precaution and prevention. 4th of July celebration at Betty T. We had a lot of youth out there that night. Let's say unsupervised youth. And the situation or the festivities was cut short because of a handful of youth. Not a lot, but a handful. And one of the things that I noticed being part of an organization like the Circle of Brotherhood, we always training because training never stops. We notice how our youth move in certain situations. When youth have on hoodies, scullies, jeans, and backpacks when there's no school, that's a recipe for disaster, especially when it's 85, 90 degrees. There was a situation that happened in Indianapolis over the weekend, similar situation, mass shooting, 7 people shot, 2 people dead, under the age of 18. We got to do a little bit more prevention when it comes to events with our youth. Now, I know a lot of programs and a lot of different things have been cut by the federal government, but we really, really need to pick it up in this area Because the same way that we could commend young people like the young man that received the award, we got to start dealing with our least left out and lost as well. And we got to give them more programs. I yield my time. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Camila Cross, and then it will be Jason Morris and Dr. James Davis.
All right. Good evening.
Good evening.
All right. So my name is Camila Cross. I am a business owner. My business is on 205th and 2nd Avenue. So I am titling this Diplomacy. So I usually don't come personal because I like to stay professional, but it's going to be a little personal. So I'm the owner of Your Worth LLC, a therapeutic private practice that offers mental health services in the state of Florida and throughout, and pretty much in the city of Miami Gardens. I did all my schooling here. I'm also the proud daughter of the outspoken Marjorie Cross. Marjorie Cross has been a resident in Miami Gardens since the 1980s, and I've watched her throughout the community, throughout the years, serve the community with pride and honor. She has served and volunteered with her whole heart and with full genuine intention. She's been very active with the school. She's in Crime Watch. She's in IPEC. I'm trying to just, for time's sake. I'm 43 years old. I still have my elementary school friends who ask me about my mom and share positive experiences. I've watched her pass out flyers for the city. I've watched her come to the city events and hurricane supplies, food supplies. She even goes door to door and tells all the good things that Miami Gardens is doing. So she had an experience, and she told me that she was told by one of the council persons, I won't call the name, that she was two-faced and played both sides because she expressed her opinions. It's totally unprofessional and lacks diplomacy and outright disrespectful. I've interacted with just about everyone on this council in saying hello, even doing collaborations, right? So that's my mother. My mother's very outspoken. She's a mother. If she doesn't like something, she's going to say it, which most mothers do. Her first priority is this community and what's best for this community. So to sit here and hear her tell me that she was called two-faced, it just hurt my heart, right? So I just want to say this, that I encourage you all that sit up there. I know this is not an easy position to have, but be mindful of your seniors in the community who advocate for you, even when you're not in the room. I'm going to keep going. Just as you would want that respect for your mothers and your fathers, I demand that respect. I'm almost done. I demand that respect for mine.
Hold on, Rich. Let her finish.
Thank you. You may see her many times by herself, but she does have an army behind her. She has her children, she has her community, her organizations, and I can't hardly go anywhere without people telling me that I'm blessed to have my mother. So that lady is something different. So be mindful of how you treat those that you have no idea about, and I hope this clarifies your understanding. It's dangerous and reckless to allow your egos to supersede your title.
Thank you.
Remember, this is God's.
Thank you.
You're in a God-appointed position.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Council. Jason Morris, 2490 Northwest 207th Street, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056. I'm here again to ask about zoning for my business. I've been patiently waiting to get approved for the zoning, and I don't understand why it's taking so long. I've just I've acquired another license, but I'm acting in the same order that I initially opened. So I don't understand why it's taking so long for the approval for the zoning. Someone spoke to me yesterday, said I would get they would get the review finished today. No one contacted me, but I've been patient. You know, I understand everything takes a process, but it's been 5 months, and I'm like, I don't understand. I'm just here to see what's going on.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Margaret Kendrick, you're next after Dr. Davis.
Yes. Good evening. Dr. James Davis, 1500 Northwest 154th Street, seat 3. In just a few minutes, when members of this dais give their updates on the Hollandale Beach Derby, the Juneteenth Gala, watch and see that they will proudly report, contrary to what was said, the Juneteenth Gala was a huge success. We had Jacket Edge, the commissioner was there, we had state leaders there, and other community members there. The Miami Dolphins and other representatives from other organizations were there, and many of the Miami Gardens residents were in attendance and have expressed to me that they had a great time and this is what they wanted. They complained and tried to speak for the residents in this city, and lie after lie after lie. I wanted to do an event that the city would be proud of, and others on the dais will say, I was for it, because I support my fellow colleagues, no matter what. We are Miami Gardens, and this is our city too. You see, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. My fellow citizens that are here and who are watching online, brace yourselves, because they're coming with the lies. And so, how much did this event cost taxpayers like myself? We look forward to the full disclosure of the financial report for the Juneteenth Gala event known as the Hollandale, Kentucky Similar Derby. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Tisdall, you're next, and then Ms. Hughes, you're after Mr. Tisdall. You're up next, yes.
Good evening. My name is Margaret Kendrick. I live at 2724 Northwest 199th Lane, directly across from the stadium. And I'm here today to talk about that traffic that went on last month. I felt like I was a hostage in my home. You couldn't go anywhere. Once you go out, there was so much traffic. My neighbors say, oh, Miss Kendrick, you're supposed to have this sticker on your car so you can come in and out. So she loaned me hers. I put it on the sticker on my car. Still couldn't get in because there was other people trying to get in the community ahead of me, and the police was stopping them, asking for their license, asking where they were going. One police officer asked the lady to give her the cell phone, to call that homeowner to see where they were going. All this time, I'm in line with the sticker on my car, so it's not easy to put that sticker on your car so you can go in and out. It is a problem, and it needs to be resolved. I felt like I couldn't go anywhere. I wanted to go to the store. Can't go to the store. I live right across the street from Walmart. Oh, you better walk because you get in your car. You're going to have a problem getting your groceries back in. You guys have to do something about that. Think about when you make these contracts, if you're making these contracts. Some police was telling the homeowners and people coming in, it's the Homeowners Association Board. I'm on the Homeowners Association Board. I knew nothing about this. Some police are saying, oh, you better go to the meeting Wednesday and speak to your council people because they're doing it. Whoever is doing it, come up with a better solution. I felt like a hostage in my house. There was no peace.
Thank you.
Mr. Tisdall, 1731 Northwest 11th Avenue. I understand that Mr. Bernard had retired. The four-way stop sign on 170th Terrace and 12th Avenue, they running that stop sign between the peak hours of 8 to 10 a.m. and 5 to 7 in the afternoon. If you're not going to put no police officers over there to patrol that area, put up the cameras. Because I counted 30 cars. I be out there every day, Monday through Friday. If you write 30 tickets per day in that area at $270 a ticket, that's $8,000 a day. I did the math. They turn there on right turn on 170th Terrace and 12th, and they speeds all the way down there to the Sunshine State Parkway. I thought Formula One racing was over here. It's over there. Some kids gonna run out there to get a ball, and they gonna get hit. The driver might stay, or he might haul buggy. Nobody's addressing that. I said this before. You don't have crosswalks there. You got the stop sign there, but you don't have the pedestrian crosswalk. Mr. Bernard did not finish the project. I don't know who I can talk to about finishing that project, but it needs to be addressed because they go to the Social Security. I ride the bus. I walk every day, but something gonna happen over there, and then y'all gonna say, "Oh, he was right." But council, it need to be addressed. Put a police there, or put the cameras there running east and west, because that's the shortcut to 183rd Street. And it's 960 feet from 112th Avenue, 170th Terrace to the Sunshine State Parkway. I did the math.
All right, thank you. Ms. Hughes, Portia Beasley, and Phyllis Larkin.
Good evening, Council. Ree
Good
Hughes,
evening.
3335 Northwest 180th Street, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056. The charter, as is, favors the council. While residents are allowed to express their concerns and complaints during public comments, oftentimes there is no follow-up action from the dais. You campaign on being the voices for and to serve the people, but once elected, your personal agenda kicks into play, only to begin positioning yourselves for higher level power grabs within the political arena. And speaking of power, to have what you want is riches, but to be able to do without, that's power. Again, be mindful. The residents will never, ever forget the fiasco of March 26, 2025, of residents being referred to as idiots by this dais, condoned and accepted by this dais. Silence speaks volumes to each one of your character and ethics. In your position, you must learn to leave your personal feelings outside the doors and walls of this chamber. As in the song, The Gambler, you've got to know when to hold them, when to fold them, know how to walk away. Words reveals one's true character. So I say to each of you on the dais and others listening in the chambers, be sure to taste your words before you spit them out. A reminder to think before you speak, as words can have a lasting impact. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is
Good evening.
Phyllis Larkin. I live on 154th and 19th Avenue. I have one issue only. I first want to compliment you all for the job well done. I'm proud to be a Miami Gardens. I thank you so much, Mayor.
Thank you.
However, on 183rd, the school crossing light was on when school was closed. It was teachers' work day. However, everybody that was going and coming, got tickets. I wanted to find out, how can you control that? This is not the first time. I know that mistakes happen, but I would hope that the people who got those tickets would not be penalized for nothing. They are not cheap. They're $100 and $200. So I got a ticket, and I wanted to find out, how can you resolve it?
All right, thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I live on 155th and 19th Avenue. My concern is code enforcement. Code enforcement comes in the area of the low poverty areas of Miami Gardens and park their vehicles on a corner and go house to house, block to block, particularly in areas where there's no approach. These areas have been like this. They have like gravel for the approach. They sighten in these areas for grass on the swells. The grass is always replaced on the swells often, but we cannot control postal office services, garbage trucks, UPS. It keeps damaging the grass, but we're constantly required to approach. My aunt lives in Coconut Cay. You never see code enforcement visit certain areas in Miami Gardens. It's only the lower part of Miami Gardens. It's sad to say, but on a given day, you can see the trucks just going from door to door, up and down, passing out multiple citations. So that's all I want to say.
All right, thank you. Mary Cooper, and then Cheryl Waterman.
Mary Cooper, 2890 Northwest 168 Terrace, Miami Gardens. My complaint is also code enforcement. I've been a resident of Miami Gardens for over 40 years, but it's getting unbearable to live here now because of the violations that's coming from code enforcement. I don't live in an HOA. I live in a community where I'm able to be a resident and have the freedom to live in my home. But you're taking away my freedom by, I have to save money just to pay a violation. And now you're trying to force me out of my residence because I can't afford my mortgage due to the violations. Okay, I see I received this out there, but it would be nice if someone can go around and put these in at the homeowner's mailbox so we'll know what the violations are. We'll have the rules and not just tell us we're in violations and we can't correct the violation, because when you see that rule on your door, that violation on your door, it's $500. So you're telling me that I can't even get a warning? I'm asking you all to make changes to the code enforcement. And if you can't do that, at least give us a warning so we could correct the violations and get it fixed. And not just say, well, you can't do this, and once you get the paper on your door, that's $500. I don't know about you, but I can't pull $500 out every day out of my purse. So I'm asking you to have respect for the homeowners, and, you know, you patrol the areas like we stole something in the community. It's okay to patrol the area, but have respect for the homeowners, and don't come in the midnight to put the knob on the door. Be respectful, knock on the door, and give it to the homeowner. I appreciate you doing that.
Thank you. And then it'll be Cornelius Lee.
Hi, my name is Dr. Cheryl Waterman. I've had at 20340 Northwest 29 Court and president of Riverview Homeowners Association. We've had a lot of traffic, but I've noticed that there's a pattern. It's usually around the soccer time, and I love soccer, so I can't really criticize it. But I'm wondering if we could do some notifications. I know that it's on the website, but a lot of us are not computer savvy. So I'm wondering if we could actually increase the, make the sign at the front by the police station a little bigger, in which people can actually see it. And also, the promoters should actually be putting signs up, especially a place like with the soccer, because we know there's a lot of people. I've seen some people from out of the country going to the soccer. So basically, and just basically letting people know that at this time, there's going to be volumes in the community. I'm also asking, because I see a lot of people have been parking in their front yard, can you guys maybe look at getting people to have some permits, make it legal, so people can, you know, park on the garage and not feel that the cars can be towed away and so forth. So basically just solutions. The sign is very, very small. When I'm driving, I have to drive around and come back on 183rd to see the words there. So basically, we just need a little bit more time, a little more notice that a lot of people are going to be in a lot of cars. We're going to be kept out of our communities. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Layla Robinson, you're after Cornelius Lee.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Cornelius Lee. I live in Coconut Cay. Address is 20469 Northwest 9th Court. This is really not a complaint that I have, but I do have an issue with the way the MOT is set up around the stadium when events comes. The MOT is set up to allow entry and exit of the stadium patrons without any regards to the citizens of Miami Gardens. On June 18, I was on 37th Avenue at the barbershop. Must have been about 5:30. I'm getting out of there. The soccer game just let out. It took me an hour and 45 minutes to go from 37th Avenue to 2nd Avenue because of the way the MOT is structured around the neighborhood. The MOT is not beneficiary to the residents at all. So if we can have somebody from the stadium come next meeting and explain it, or get another MOT set up, because all the traffic is dumped into the city of Miami Gardens, and we can't maneuver around it, because just like the young lady said, we got these passes, but don't nobody know any information about these passes. I asked the police officer, one says no, one says yes. I mean, it shouldn't have took me 2 hours, almost 2 hours to get home for something that's a 10 to 15 minute ride. I'm not complaining. The stadium needs to do better in the city of Miami Gardens when it's setting up for this MOT, because I watched them set it up, and it is horrible to the community. It brings a lot of traffic. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Latanya Williams will be next, and then Miss Gloria Kaysen.
Hello, my address is 18611 Northwest 27th Avenue. Good evening, council members and citizens of Miami Gardens. I am Layla Robinson. I'm 17 years old, a citizen of Miami Gardens, and I attend Miami Northwestern Senior High School. Today, I'm proud to present Seriously Good Incorporated, a community service organization I originally started for my 11th birthday, but now I'm bringing it back and re-imaging it into something bigger and more impactful. Seriously Good is dedicated to supporting women and children by collecting and donating cereal and non-perishable breakfast food items. So far, I've collected over 400 items and helped feed more than 520 people, with donations going to shelters like Lotus House and facilities in Overtown. I'm currently working to expand this effort to his house in Miami Gardens, as well as other shelters throughout both the city and Miami-Dade County. To continue this mission, I'm asking for your support, whether it's through donating breakfast items, allowing me to collect at community events, or hosting a donation bin that I will collect from every 3 months. You can follow the organization on Instagram at SeriouslyGood305. That's spelled CEREALOUSLYGOOD 305. The link to our Amazon registry is available in the bio. Thank you so much for your time and support.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Latanya Williams, 2738 Northwest 201 Terrace, I think. My concern is just the parking and the with the police and stuff. I feel like if I've been living at Miami Gardens for 18 years, and I really never had no problem. Like, as you say, you have people coming to the games and stuff, and we could park our cars freely, no problem. But right now things getting so hard sometimes. I don't think that it's fair that they have to block the entrance of people coming looking for parking. You understand? As long as they ain't doing no harm and we have the space, we could follow them. You understand? Once they know big violence, people cussing, people, I don't know. But I looking out for me. You understand? Because every little is a hustle. And if I could make at least $200 just by parking, that could be a bill for me. I have a good job, yes, but I have my light bill to pay, I have water bill to pay, I have all those bills to pay. But this little extra money, it'll really come in handy. I don't feel that the police them should really actually stop this for us. You understand?
Yeah. Thank you.
Good evening, Gloria Kaysen, 20,000 Northwest 15th Avenue, Miami Gardens. My concern is with the event parking, with all the activities they have. You can't even get into your house. I'm right in the curve. So they park in front of your house on the grass that you all tell us to take care of. Then you can't get in it. When you come around the curve, They block the entranceway, the parking. I have no problem with people making money, but it's a problem when you can't even get into your house where you live at. And then when you go to the police and tell them about it, sometimes they do, sometimes you don't get assistance. And they got the streets blocked on both sides. Well, I'm on 15th Avenue. I have to come down 7th Avenue to come in the back way. I even got one of those stickers that you all say to get. Other people get those stickers, and some of them don't have them. They come in on 7th Avenue where you all don't have blocked right there at 14th Avenue. That's blocked, and I take that street to come to my house, but when you come down there, you got cars on both sides. They had the taxi cabs. They have those Lyft, Ubers sitting there blocking. You really can't come down the street at all. And they will not move. They say, this is not yours, it's public. I tell them, yeah, it may be public, but I pay taxes. And you don't live in this neighborhood. And they're rude and nasty. They walk past your yard, on your grass. I'm like, please don't walk on my yard. Just go the other way. I don't do the parking. I've been there since 1985. We never had nothing like this. I think things are growing and getting better, but it needs some improvement for us in the community because that is ridiculous, trying to get to your own house. Another thing I was asking about, I don't know if you all have it in plan or what, I know Miami-Dade County has it, about their ADUs, like the little tiny homes you can put in the back of your house.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other written communications on public comments?
At this time, no written communication. However, if I do receive any written communication, I'll be sure to forward to the council.
All right, so public comments are now closed. We're on reports, the mayor and council. Where we start at? Councilwoman Julian?
I don't have a report, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Baskin?
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Councilwoman Wilson?
Yes. First of all, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to this council and to the staff of the great city of Miami Gardens and to all of the residents who came out and supported Juneteenth. It was by far one of the most incredible events that you could have imagined. All too often, I think we may fail to remember how important history truly is. And we may think that the dollar amounts matter. But when it comes to you and learning who you are and valuing who you are, there is no dollar amount that will be able to truly express how important it is for a community that makes history every single day to really take time and to acknowledge people like Shirley Gibson, to acknowledge the people who came before us to make this city what it is. And so our Juneteenth celebration, bar none, was probably one of the best in the southeastern United States. And Miami Gardens kept with its high level of class and dignity and sophistication. And it's unfortunate that some people don't know that. But what is more fortunate is how many that do. So I want to thank you all for being there, for being the change makers, for the local talent that performed, and the wonderful, wonderful time that we had at Gulfstream. And I will take exception and say it wasn't a derby, honey. That was for horses. What we have coming up is Battle of the Gardens football game. Former NFL player Kenny Phillips is sponsoring this event, and it's going to start at 9 a.m., and it will be a high-energy event, full of just wonderful activities with children, with families, with community people, foods, and family-friendly. So please make it your opportunity to come on by, meet Mr. Phillips, homegrown, and always is looking for an opportunity to be a part of what this place that he calls home.
What's the date?
The date is going to be Saturday, July 19th. And then on July 27th, we have our fourth annual Jamaican Independence Masters Cup soccer tournament. It's going to be held at the wonderful Myrtle Grove Park. The games will begin at 9 a.m., and it is a free event to all who choose to come. It will be 7 versus 7, food, fun, music, and the community. I look forward to seeing you all there, and that ends my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Powell.
Thank you, Mayor. We've been busy, and I want to talk about, first on June 24th, I was happy to host Talk with the Doc at Rolling Oaks. We had a great attendance and a great conversation, and we're fortunate enough to also have our state representative, Felicia Robinson, present, which gave the legislative update at that time. We had hoped that the water bill would pass. Unfortunately, it was vetoed by our governor, and so unfortunately the fight has to continue. And he's asked us to go back to the mediation table. But we've not given up my residency C3. We have not given up, and I won't give up, and we will work together to see if we can reach some conclusion together. On July 8th, that was yesterday, an amazing day. We had the family day out at Top Golf. And I have to say, first, thanks to the Mayor Harris for attending. What was Family Day out? In our community, many families have been affected by gun violence. Many families throughout the years. And after the event occurs and the news have already posted, and it's like sometimes the families are forgotten. But the memories of the loved ones that are gone, the children who experienced the loss, we can't forget them. So yesterday we had a family day out at Top Golf, and our co-sponsor for the event was the Code of Love Foundation by Carla Shepard. In addition, we had the Hollywood twins from Love and Hip Hop, Asia and Daisha Shepard was also present. We had DLTR Foundation, who gave away sneakers and gift certificates to the families. And of course, we're so thankful for Janine Jones from the Community Liaison for State Attorney Catherine Fernandez Runbull Office was also present. And we had Denise Brown from RJ Foundation. It was so well attended by Representative and Susan Bullets. Thank you so much. She gave everyone in attendance some bracelets, and here's mine, beautiful, to take something so horrible, and inside these bracelets are scriptures and motivational writings to help families turn these bullets into hope and something beautiful. In addition, we also had our very own Claudia Robinson from our Victims Advocacy. Thank you so much. She helped so much to get these families here together, and as well as Latasha Alexander, who's a therapist and activist, as well as Jerome Fulton, who's also an activist. We cannot forget families of gun violence, and they knew yesterday that Miami Gardens does not forget their families. Coming up, please save the date, on August 6th, we will have our Healthy You podcast for all the kids going back to school and families. If you don't know what vaccines to give, and please listen to somebody who's actual doctor. There are certain immunizations that you will need, and I will be giving out on the podcast some directions for vaccinations. And on September 6th, we have Grandparents' Day celebration, but it's also a day to shred those documents to stay safe. And this time, we're also going to be getting rid of old, outdated medications. So if you have medications piling up in your medicine cabinets that you know you should have thrown out already, please bring them on Grandparents' Day. Coming up, please save the date because you're going to have to register for Laugh It Off on October 18th, as well as we're going to put an end to diabetes with a diabetic symposium on November 8th. And as always, you can reach me in my office on Wednesdays from 2 to 4. And the healthy tip today will be, get your vitamin D. Okay, people, stop being afraid of the sun. Okay, I know we're brown or light brown or whatever. need the sun. Vitamin D is good for your bones and helps keep you strong. And if you really can't stand the sun, take some vitamin D. It will help your bones. That's the tip of the day. And I do want to give recognition to Mr. Andrew Vasquez, who has been such a help with all our programs on Healthy You, and my new summer intern, Christine Henry. Everybody wait, where's Christine? Hey, thank you so much. She's a blessing to our team. And that's my report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Leon.
Good evening again. I want to take this opportunity to thank the city manager's office, the police department, mayor, Councilwoman Baskin, Councilwoman Dr. Powell for coming out, supporting the night camp. We take about 50 kids off the street every single night for the last 5 weeks. The kids stay at our parks till about 10 p.m. every night. And this program is truly saving lives. Councilwoman Baskin entrusted her son with us. So she sees exactly the work that's being done with these kids every single night, how they're opening up. But the main part about it is that we continue to invest in our children. We're bridging the gap between police and our kids. We had some kids turn in notes to the police officers telling them about different activities that was going on in their community. So this helps increase the trust, the level that they have. Officer Richard Robinson came out and spoke to the kids. So I just want to thank the community for your support on this program. And I want to thank Michelle and Lashara Bostic. Tiana was my analyst who went to law school. So until I find somebody, I have Lashara and Michelle that's helping out. And the interns. So they run this camp every single night until 10 p.m. So I just wanted to publicly thank everybody for your help. Thank you.
Thank you. When you guys go outside, if you are receiving water from the city of North Miami Beach, there's cards out on the tables outside. We need you guys to pick up one of these cards. It's in reference to the water settlement that took place between the city of North Miami Beach and Miami Gardens. We have until January to put our claims in. And right now, we are not putting our claims in enough. So if you receive water from the city of North Miami Beach, make sure you pick up one of these cards outside. It'll give you instructions as to how you can file a claim to receive the funding, or you'll be receiving some type of, I don't know how it's going to be distributed yet, but you need to fill out this claim, and we need to do that right away. We have until January. We've sent out letters, we've sent out news, we put it in the newspapers, we put it on our Facebook, our Instagram, all our social media. We have these at all of our parks and recreational centers, our senior center. We need you guys to fill out these forms. So they'll be sitting outside. And that being said, I don't have any other comments on my report. So we're on ordinances for first reading.
There are no ordinances on for first reading. We're now on for ordinances on for second reading and public hearing. Item 10.1, an ordinance of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, amending Chapter 16, Article 3 of the City of Miami Gardens Code of Ordinances to create Section 16-61 entitled Window Openings, providing for adoption representation, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing a severability clause, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for an effective date. And this is sponsored by Vice Mayor Robert Stevens, and this is a second reading, public hearing.
All right. Are there any public comments on this issue? You have any written communication in reference to this?
No written communications, Mayor.
Okay.
I move the item, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion from the dais on this issue? Showing up. Madam Attorney, you want to go through this item real quick just to...
Oh, say what it is?
Yeah.
Sure. So this is an item that requires commercial businesses
Some of our commercial businesses have shutters, bars, opaque windows during the daytime and night, all day, every day. And it's an eyesore. And so Vice Mayor wanted this ordinance to be drafted to require that you can only have shutters and things of that nature when like it's a hurricane or a weather event that would require you to have it. And that otherwise the windows be clear. So this gives, it immediately goes into effect, but it gives everyone an opportunity until June 1st, 2026 to come into compliance. And it also authorizes the manager, if there's more time needed and good cause is shown, the manager can give up to another year to give properties enough time to come into compliance.
Okay. Mr. Clerk, you want to call the roll?
Yes. Councilwoman Baskin?
Yes.
Councilman Leon?
Yes.
Councilwoman Powell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wilson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian?
Yes.
Mayor Harris?
I vote yes.
Motion passes 6-0. We're now on to the consent agenda.
I need a motion on the consent agenda.
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of the consent agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing no opposition, show the consent agenda pass.
All right, we're now on to resolutions. Item 13.1, a resolution of the City Council for the City of Miami Gardens, Florida, accepting the fiscal year 2023-2024 annual audit report from the city's auditor, Anthony Brunson, PA, providing for adoption representation, providing for effective date, and this is sponsored by City Manager.
Mr. Manager.
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council members, I'd like Mr. Brunson just to give a brief presentation, overview of our audit. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, council persons, and citizens of City of Miami Gardens. First, I'd like to introduce Gene Borno. Gene Borno is a recent partner in the firm and did all the heavy lifting on the account. In my presentation, I'm just going to address what is required of us in our report of governance. And it just talks about the scope of the audit being pursuant to generally accepted auditing standards, and the city has satisfied all of those standards. In connection with the work, we have not done anything beyond that. No operational review or forensic or no other type of work in connection with that. The accounting practices, our policies, the accounting policies are consistent with the industry. There are no significant or unusual transactions in the city's work, and there were no alternative treatments in respect to the work. Management judgments and accounting estimates, we have things like pension estimates with our actuaries or depreciation. You have a huge asset base exceeding $200 million. But again, you satisfy all of the standards as well as the financial statement disclosures. We had no disagreements with management. There were no third-party consultants that come in. Sometimes there may be an appraiser or some party like that we would need to issue the audit report. So we listed a group of significant issues that we discussed with your finance team. And from year to year, your grants change, so we went through a lot of those updates and those changes. We talked some about the changes in the internal control environment. The city maintains a pretty strong internal control environment as well. There was one issue that we worked through in connection with some bond trustee funds that had been with you for a while. The bond agency never sent you any account information until recently with a refinancing. So we did have to go back and do an adjustment and relate it to those items. But outside of that, we're independent, no difficulties with the audit, and we're just here to answer any questions that you have.
Any questions from Dez? So in layman's term, we're doing great.
You're in really good shape, Mr. Mayor.
Good. You need another candy?
I'm choking on the good news.
I believe each of you have the sleeping book. You can read it. Works every time if you have a hard part to get to bed.
Thank you, Mr. Brunson.
So, Mr. Mayor, I'll go ahead and make a motion.
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Mr. Clerk, you want to call the roll?
Councilwoman Powell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wilson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian,
Yes.
Councilwoman Baskin,
Yes.
Councilman Leon,
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you, Mr. Brunson.
We're now on to item 13.2, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing the use of the council chambers for a youth civic engagement session with nationwide youth outreach and athletics to be held on July 17, 2025, provided for adoption representation, provided for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Katrina Baskin.
Councilwoman?
Thank you. Yes, so this is an opportunity for Nationwide Youth Outreach. They have a mentoring program for young boys just to give them an opportunity to learn about local government, the exposure, empower them, and let them know there are other opportunities, other career opportunities for them aside from basketball, football, rapping, and other things. And I think it's very important for us as the largest black city in Florida to educate our young black boys and let them know that their voices matter, that they can be heard. They do have ideas and suggestions and things of that nature. And I think this is the perfect opportunity for them to come into the chambers to see how council meetings are held. They'll also be going on a short tour to some of the departments within the city just to see how the city operates and let them know that their city is working for them and they're a part of that too. And this will take place on next Thursday, July 17th.
All right. Need a motion on this item?
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any questions or concerns from the dais? Showing none, Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilwoman Wilson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian,
Yes.
Councilwoman Baskin,
Yes.
Councilman Leon,
Yes.
Councilwoman Powell,
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 6-0. We're now on to item 13.3, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing the use of the council chambers on July 11, 2025, provided for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Councilwoman Linda Julian.
Councilwoman Julian?
Yes, requesting to use the chamber on this Friday for an interview.
Need a motion on this item?
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any questions or concerns from the dais? Showing none, Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilwoman Julian,
Yes.
Councilwoman Baskin, Councilman Leon,
Yes.
Councilwoman Powell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wilson,
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 6-0. There are no quasi-judicial zoning hearing items. We're now on to the reports of the city manager, city attorney, and city clerk.
Mr. Manager?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Clerk, can I ask for a clarification on something? And I'm sorry I didn't do it earlier. On the, I remember, I just want to make sure that we, I know Councilwoman Powell asked to be a co-sponsor on 12-1. Is that going to, that?
Well,
she has spoken to me, but I just wanted to correct it for the record.
Okay.
She didn't bring it up here at the council meeting, did they?
Yeah, she needs to bring it up.
You did? No, she didn't bring it up.
Okay, no problem. I won't worry about it.
You wanted to be a co-sponsor on that?
For those of you, yes, but it wasn't, I guess it was a forgotten item. But for those of you who aren't familiar with, and Councilman Reggie Leon, he discussed that what's coming is a vehicle that you'll be able to utilize for transportation. That's free to the residents by just calling like an Uber. And when I came in September, I thought it was a brilliant idea and discussed it with the manager. I was unaware that it was already in play. But it's going to be wonderful for residents, and it's something that I'm glad Councilman Reggie Leon had brought to the table. So just in full support of it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So do you want to be a co-sponsor on it? Do you, Doc?
Yes, thank you.
All right, duly noted. I'll show that reflected on the signed resolution.
Thank you.
And the last thing, Mr. Mayor, may I take a little, the young lady that came up and spoke about her Frosted Flakes program,
A Frosted Flakes.
The cereal program.
Mr.
I'm just
Manager.
messing with her.
I know you
I'm
are,
just
but
messing with her.
cereal program.
But I like if is that her mom? Are you the mom? Grandmother. Grandma, can you at some point in time get in contact with my office through Yaneria back here? Can you stand right? I'd like to sit down and talk with your granddaughter about the program. Okay? With that, Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Manager, we have cards I could present to you so that you can have her information.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you gave me
I just got it.
Okay.
The
All
clerk
right.
just gave it to me. No
All right.
problem. Okay. Thank you.
Madam Attorney?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. We issued the quarterly litigation report, I think last week, so you all have that. If you have any questions or concerns, just contact my office and we'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Clerk?
I love the city of Miami Gardens. No report.
Thank you. I need a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Been moved and
Third.
seconded. Show this meeting adjourned.